Welcome to Let's Play Minecraft. That's not right. Welcome to 10 Things You Missed in the new Avengers trailer. That's not right either. Welcome to this makeup tutorial. There's nothing written on the paper. Okay, so Unicorn Store. You've probably seen this movie. It's on Netflix. They decided to pick it up conveniently right after the release of Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson and Samuel L. Jackson. Of course, they had to. It's made like $1 billion worldwide or something like that. It's insane. So it would make sense that Netflix would just piggyback off that movie by picking up Unicorn Store. And it actually wasn't released this year. It was released in 2017 in some film festival, whatever. Never got a theatrical release because it was shit, I guess. This is Brie Larson's directorial debut. I have to say it's okay. Whatever. I think the reason they let her direct a movie was because she was fresh off an Oscar win. And they were like, oh yeah, she won an Oscar for Best Actress. That makes her a good director. So this movie is basically about this girl. She's, I think, in her early 20s, somewhere around there. The movie mentions that she dropped out of college or school or whatever. It doesn't really specify. But she's a painter, and she sees herself as a failure in her parents' eyes. Or they don't really see her that way. Sort of. It's kind of unclear. So within minutes of the movie, like, it starts with her in the art exhibit doing exhibit stuff. And then after that, it cuts to her being at home, you know, jobless, not doing much other than watching TV. And on the TV, there's like commercials that are so on the nose that it's like stuff that's saying that nobody buys paintings in yard sales, or unable to take any more rejection, tired of being a failure. It's just over the top. I think the movie was going for introducing the character through commercials or things she can relate to from commercials. I don't know, it didn't really work. I get it's supposed to be an over-the-top movie, but I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't feel like it works. The characters really are very over-the-top, but that's about it. The visuals, they're not really... they don't really convey the over-the-top feeling that you're supposed to feel. A guy named Kevin, school friend, I guess, comes in, spits bad dialogue. Cool beans. She thinks her parents like him more than her, so she tries to get a job at a firm. She gets a job at a firm, and she works there, and she does normal stuff, and basically that's pretty much it, except for the fact that she runs into this weird area. Oh no, she gets an invitation to come to this warehouse, and she goes there and she finds Samuel L. Jackson with a bunch of random stuff everywhere, just teleporting, I guess. So yeah, she's trying to get a unicorn, but Samuel L. Jackson tells her,
"You're not ready yet."
Well, she tries to get one. She tries to make herself ready, and so she needs to do a bunch of stuff like make a pen for it, and that's pretty much it, really. So she goes to this hardware store to try to get a stable built for a unicorn that she doesn't even have yet, and she brings home a dude who works there, and the guy actually went to her house. What the fuck? Oh my god. He even says after the fact that she's in her backyard, he says, "You don't even know me. What the fuck are you doing there then? What are you..." Oh my god, it was so hilarious when he said that. A lot of stuff happens. They have a budding romance. It actually makes sense, and it's not really forced or anything. But she gives a crazy, over-the-top presentation, and one of the people she's presenting with, he says, it's a delivery guy. He says, "Oh, I wish I could vacuum up all the haters." Oh my god! That's a quote that you put on your fridge. So the way that this is shot and directed, it's like a serious drama with moments of levity, rather than an over-the-top movie. And the visuals really don't help convey the over-the-top feeling that you're supposed to feel. Brie Larson uses a lot of handheld, or her cinematographer, whatever. There's a lot of handheld. And if you don't know what handheld is, it's pretty much when you hold the camera with your bare hands. You don't use a tripod or a dolly or anything like that. You just hold it, and it creates this feeling right here. And it really works best for dramatic scenes in films, but this is not one of them. It's more like a lighthearted comedy, more matter of fact. It was kind of going for like an Office or The Office kind of thing, where that show uses a lot of handheld, and it works. But I don't know, it's the tone of that show where it's supposed to be, where people are acting serious, but there's like an comedic undertone, but for this one, they're like acting stupid on purpose, and it just doesn't really fit with what she's trying to do. And even the musical score lends to a serious tone with orchestral strings in the back, which is an odd fit for the film. It's supposed to be taking place in the modern world, and an over-the-top world at that. I think it would have been more fitting to have pop songs about, I don't know, diarrhea or something. I don't know, whatever fits better with the original score. Pretty much everyone in this movie does a terrible job of acting. Sadly, even Samuel L. Jackson is bad, but I don't think I blame anyone. The source material and the writing isn't really much to work with, which really brings down their performances. I will say though, the guy who plays Virgil does the best acting job in the movie. And also Kit's dad has his moments. When we reach that moment where Kit and her dad are talking after they just argued at the campfire, it really was a sincere moment that worked with the serious tones and direction, as I stated earlier. And even the score turned into a more pop version of an orchestra right after that scene, and I wish the score was like that for the whole movie, because it seemed to really fit. But that was only for the second half of the movie is when it started to pick up. Later in the movie, as it went on, the movie it gets better when the serious moments are actually taken seriously, and they were actually really effective. The moment she had with Virgil at the abandoned warehouse, the moment she had with her mom the next morning, and even the moment in the backyard was great. And also the campfire thing with her dad, that was great too. I really feel like the first half of the movie really drags and it's just ineffective. Comedy falls flat, the serious moments are undercut by awkward jokes, and the dialogue isn't good. But the second half of the movie is where things get good. It just does a complete 180. The romance between Kit and Virgil is really believable, and it isn't forced at all. The serious moments really become serious and effective. The comedy starts to work because it fits with the actual tone of the movie. As for the end, though, it was actually really disappointing. Kit was really holding on to this unicorn that may or may not exist, and she goes to Samuel L. Jackson to see if it's real. And she actually encounters the unicorn. And she goes to it and she meets it, and I thought, maybe after she sees it, she'll still let it go and grow up, after everything that's happened. And that does happen. But what really kills it is when Virgil shows up and sees it too. It was real the whole time. I was disappointed it went this way because it takes away the impact of her possibly being mentally ill, which would have been more powerful. It was being alluded to the entire movie, and I thought it would have been more effective for her character to be that way. We saw her parents allude to it when they spoke to her in the garage, and making the unicorn real just takes away all the emotional impact that the movie was trying to build for 90 minutes. So yeah, Brie Larson's directorial debut was a shaky one. There are a lot of things she needs to improve on, a lot of technical aspects she needs to pay attention to. I really wish the first half of the movie was like the second half of the movie, because the second half was actually really good. It really gets you. There's some genuine moments there. The end really kills it, making it real, the unicorn real. It would have been so much more powerful if she just let it go at the end and just finished her character arc. And I don't know, it just really, I don't know why they went that way. Really disappointing they did. Unicorn Store gets a cabbage out of 10. Whatever, number systems are stupid. I don't recommend this movie. So yeah, thanks for watching me play Fortnite on Twitch. Fucking end video.